Welcome to tonight's meeting, City of Covington Council meeting dated April 5th, 2022. We welcome everybody. If you would silence your phones or put them on off would be appreciated. And we'll go ahead and have roll call.
Councilman Lewis.
Here.
Councilman Botsford.
Here.
Councilman Roberts.
Here.
Councilwoman Ludwig.
Here.
Councilman Verrett.
Here.
Councilman Smith.
Here.
Councilman Rowling.
Here. If we can stand for a moment of silence, please. And let us remember the Ukrainian people, please. Council Clerk Joanne Rucker, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance.
Okay, thank you. Okay, appearers tonight, we do have a few on our agenda, and we ask that you limit yourself to around 5 minutes, and we'll keep you on time if needed. Also, if you would please state your name and address for the record when you come up to the podium. We have Ms. Tiffany McGarry Cyprian, will be talking about building permits and Mardi Gras Day. And Councilman Lewis, you want to introduce?
Yeah, Miss Tiffany Cyprian, McGarry Cyprian, I know her from the community. She had several issues with building permits she wanted to come discuss with the council. It's her first discussion. And the second one, she wanted to talk about an incident for Mardi Gras Day. So I'll turn it over to Miss Tiffany.
Good afternoon. Thank you guys for this opportunity, for finally getting me on the agenda.
And address for the record, please.
Tiffany.
Name and address, please.
Name and address.
We just
Tiffany
have it, so
McGarry
we'll
Cyprian.
refuse it. Thank you.
46348 North Baptist Road, Hammond, Louisiana. I initially had sent in a letter on March 27th of 2021, inquiring about some concerns I had in reference to permit standards and protocols. My initial question was, does everyone that comes in for a permit fall under the same rules, protocols, and standards? Or is it different based on an individual, a business, or a location of a house, maybe by house numbers? I just want to know if everyone must meet in order for an inspection to pass or fail the same requirements. If that answer to my question is yes, then I have some concerns that I would like for you to review and advise me why the differences in the following photos and videos that were taken on March 19th of 2021 of a property's AC unit that had not been secured to the base. And also one I did see that was secured, and our home failed the permit for an air conditioning unit. That was one of the things on the inspection, that the AC unit had to be bolted down. I do have the video of the inspector because he was aware my husband was not able because 2 inspection had been no-shows from the inspectors. And I had my husband on the video so he can hear, because I know nothing about permits and inspections. I'm not going to play the whole video from like when he initially came in, but just the concerns that were brought to me that I would like you guys to address. So this is right here about the AC unit. You can stop it. And the photos. So I wrote down in the neighborhood, so 822 West 22nd, they're bolted down. Next picture. So this was taken on March the 19th at 3:56. This is 910 West 32nd, which is Mr. Hubert Zipperan's home, who gave us permission. He's related to my husband. We went over, completely rocked the unit. It's not bolted down, and still as of today, it's not bolted down. And that's just the West 32nd again. So 910, 912, and 918 are not bolted down. So my concern is that for everybody, or is that just for us? Because we had to pay for a reinspection, and I wasn't very happy. And today makes 1 year and 10 days that I've been waiting. And I know the council, I want to commend Councilman Lewis. I called him a million times, Ms. Joanne, all of the council, Mr. Bosford even called me. There was a meeting scheduled, a committee meeting, but they couldn't get everything together. But I just think taking a year and 10 days is unacceptable. And I just want to know, is there a place where someone can find reliable, concrete rules, procedures, city ordinance, and guidelines that's across the board for everybody, and know what they have to have? And why are we required to have that bolted down and no one else?
So we appreciate you bringing that up. Administration related, do you have any comment on that? Let's see where we are.
Yes, I spoke with Ms. Cyprian last week. I'm Erin. We have never actually met. I have not had a chance to look at these documents. I reached out and left you a message on Friday with my email address so you could send all of this to me. I have not received anything to start a formal investigation and to look into any issues we have with our code or our processes. So I'm happy to look at any information that gets sent to me so I can start that process. Thank you.
And I appreciate that. I'll leave that information as well, so.
I'll chime in. I would think that all of our building codes apply to everybody equally, okay? Building inspections are done by human beings. Somebody, obviously, if that is, and I don't know all the building codes off the top of my head, but if it says it's mandated that the units be bolted and secured, and you found 3 or 4 of them that aren't, some kind of way that slipped through the process. So what I would recommend we do is to go to the building inspector for the city, present these facts that you're giving to us tonight, and maybe come up with an answer as to what happened, and it could just be human error. He may have to go back and inspect those units and say, hey, I don't know how this got by. Okay, we're going to give you a week or whatever to bolt these things down. So I think that's the direction we need to go to, whether it be the administration sitting down with the building inspector or one of the council members going to the building inspector and presenting these facts that Ms. Ciprian presented to us. That's
I
what
appreciate
think.
that.
You're quite welcome.
And I don't know if you guys heard in the video, he told me, so I don't know if we did a final inspection on those homes. So,
I guess I just
Councilman
got
Lewis?
two questions. Is the building inspector employed by the city, or are they contracted?
He is a contractor. We contract out our building inspections.
Okay, and then what's the process for getting the final inspection? After it's done, is it reviewed by somebody in the city, like permits?
I'm not prepared to really answer that. I mean, I would have to ask Chris. I'd be happy to ask him and get back to you.
Chris is not here?
No, Chris is not here. Chris is out of town for a conference.
I would say Chris is a good spot to start.
Yeah, Chris is a great start. I think my biggest concern was if you already paid for somebody to come out twice, and then we're just going to send somebody out to fix the other problems, it kind of voids the fact that she's been trying to pay to get something done, and then we can send somebody out for free. Is there a charge to the people who haven't been fully inspected or living in their property? So I don't want to bring finances into it, but it is a concern of, do we charge people to go out there to make sure their building has actually been inspected properly? And that, I mean, that's a concern and a half of who's living in a house that hasn't been approved.
Well, I
But
think-
all that starts with Chris.
I agree, we
basically,
take
yeah.
with the facts that are being presented, the video.
And I apologize
her
that Chris could
statements.
not be
We
here. I
take-
didn't know that he was going to be
We
expected
take
to
it to
be
the
here.
building inspector
That was not
with the
passed.
city, and granted, he may contract out building inspectors because he can't go inspect everything, and let him take it from there and
And I think what Chris can
get
look
some
at,
kind of resolution to this.
I think what Chris can look at too, maybe it's just one contractor that's kind of looking at these homes, and he's not, obviously not up to par, because if he's saying something, telling you to do something, and then not getting other houses and stuff like that, obviously he's doing subpar work. And it may be just that one particular contractor, and we may not look at, not using him in the future.
I just would like to add that those houses have already been sold.
Right.
And the 6 houses that I did check are the houses that were under the West 30s redemption.
Right.
Okay, so I think there's enough information to go around. Not sure what happened with the meeting, and that type of thing over the last months or year, but I think it's on the floor, and it sounds like the administration is going to go ahead and see what they can do to help with the process, so we appreciate that.
I appreciate
Any other
that.
questions on that?
One comment,
Maybe the next council meeting, the administration could give us a progress report and a
Sure.
follow-up so it doesn't go elsewhere.
if in fact that is the ordinance, the building ordinance or regulation that needs to be met, apparently you're saying the homes that aren't bolted down were all built by the same contractor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe we also need to make him aware of any future buildings that, hey, you're missing something here, you're missing an ordinance. You need to secure the units. That'd be something we probably need.
I appreciate it. I just want to be treated fairly, that's all. Like, we all the same.
Yeah, and also, if the council needs to get involved even more with administration, the Community Development Housing Committee, we have 3 council members on that committee, if in fact there's any further
Sure.
discussion that needs to be.
And
looked at.
as I explained to Ms. Cyprian last week, what happens is when these issues come to my attention, investigation's a hard term, but I really look at the details. I spend time, I get with Rod, I review our ordinances and our process, even down to the forms. And if we identify a process that needs to be improved, then we will definitely look into that. So,
Okay, seems like people are on the same page, and we appreciate that very much. Okay, next.
Okay, so my...
5 minutes for that
okay.
also, okay.
Do I need to say my name all over again?
You probably don't have to, since you didn't leave the podium.
Okay, so my next concern is an incident that happened on Mardi Gras. Not here to bash anybody, not here to cause any confusion. It's a safety of the concern of our citizens and myself. On Mardi Gras Day, Councilman Lewis and I were standing down on 29th Avenue right where a barricade is and not expecting any type of motor vehicle to come through. We were standing there, and I turn around, and there's a golf cart right here at the back of my leg and Councilman Lewis. And it was Mr. Johnson driving the golf cart. Didn't say anything. He gunned it through. This lady here had to move out the way. She just had back surgery. Another lady grabbed her kids. And I have a concern for that as a safety for the citizens and myself. I don't know if he was having some type of medical episode. I don't know what it was, but he was dazed out, and he just gunned it through us after that. And that was a concern to me. I sent it to the council to try to see, address my concerns and what I had. So I'm here for that because I have a concern for not only safety of myself, but other people, for someone moving a barricade and then coming through and then gunning through where people are sitting and a bunch of children.
Okay, any council comments on that?
I mean, my first question, and thank you for sending the email, because as a leader of our community, I always want to make sure we're represented properly.
Correct.
And so I'm assuming alcohol is involved in this conversation. So, and I'm only assuming that because we don't know, and I guess we don't know because when the incident happened, I kind of wish I was there in the sense of either take the keys from him or just call the police and have them handle it. And nobody took that initiative to say, mayor or not, or me, or any one of these guys, somebody doing something wrong, call the police. And I wish that would have happened in that moment, because now to go back hindsight, we can't fix it. Not that I want to get anyone in trouble, I just want to make sure it gets handled. And so I don't know what would come out of this conversation, except for us to be aware that next time we see the mayor on a golf cart, we need to make sure that he's okay. But I don't think that's the concern. I think you have a valid concern of Mardi Gras Day. I just wish Mardi Gras Day would have been handled immediately and not 12 hours later in an email chain and start those conversations. I just would like to see that.
And I could elaborate on that. I do regret that I did not call the police, but it was because, the mayor, and after I really processed and thought about it, I should have. As a citizen, that's my right to do that.
My only question I had was, I think I don't think it mentioned it in the email, but was there a detail there for that, for the police?
A
detail?
police officer, he was
Yes.
actually on Columbia by the new
Prosperity.
food bank, the Prosperity Center.
Okay,
in the
so he
little
wasn't like
store.
in the immediate area?
No.
Okay.
He must have got off
Yeah,
and
this-
moved the barricade.
In the future, I don't care who it is in this, if there is somebody that's endangering our residents of the community, please call the police and file a report and stuff like that. Because last thing we want is one of our citizens to be injured in any way, shape, or form, no matter who it is.
Right.
On that one.
Because he
You
was
know,
literally right
they were at
behind my
Mardi Gras
leg
Day.
and Councilman Lewis.
Yeah, and everybody was having a good time that day and stuff like that. There's no sense in people being in danger. That needs to be reported if that happens. So please, like I said, please call the police next time something like that happens.
And Ms. Cyprian, I keep wanting to say Tiffany. I'm sorry.
Say Tiffany, that's fine.
I know, right, I know. I do. I completely get where you're stuck in between when you go, that's the mayor, and do you roll that dice? And you don't want to, I get it. So I'm just encouraging everyone, not just for the mayor. If you see the mayor, call the police. No, if you see anybody doing anything, call the police, because if we could be sitting here talking about a kid getting rolled over, and then you're going to hate yourself for it. So make that call. It's okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Councilman Lewis, anything?
No, I mean, I just echo what Joey's saying, and I thank Tiffany for coming up and speaking. I know it took a lot of courage, and I'm glad we're just getting this out and discussing it.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to speak up. I just should have called the police that night, and I didn't, but I just wanted to, I sent the email, so I wanted to address you guys about the situation, and hoping that, Mr. Johnson would be apologetic about almost running Councilman Lewis and I over with those weren't my kids. I don't have little kids, but if I was that parent, I'd be upset. And I know this lady had to move her chair, jump out of her chair, having back surgery without getting run over. So, I was expecting an apology or something, but it's all good. I made my point across and let you know what happened, and moving forward, that's what I will do.
We thank you. We thank you for appearing tonight.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Okay. Next on, as our appearer tonight, Mr. Cleveland Webster with the Youth Service Bureau. Councilman Lewis.
Me again.
Do a lot of great things there at the
Yeah,
Youth Service Bureau. We're glad you're
Mr.
here.
Cleveland recently, probably a little over a year, is it Cleveland? Took over the YSB? 2
It'll
years?
be 2 years in August.
Yeah, it's been doing some good things in the community. And I recently joined the Chef Soiree with them again this year. It's kind of successful. And y'all haven't joined the 30-30-30. Y'all need to join it. Every council member up here. But I wanted him to come talk about the services he offered to the community and just to get the word out there about the great things he's doing.
So my name is Cleveland Wester, 1842 Oxnard Boulevard, number 126 in Covington. And I'm the president and CEO of Youth Service Bureau. And if I told you guys that we've been in business for 41 years in this area, would you believe that? Because there are some people never heard of us. So that's the barrier that I'm trying to break, is having everybody know about us. Because what we do in the community, I mean, it saves lives, keep our community safe, keep our kids out of the system, keep them at home. So that's what we do. We have 5 core programs, CASA program. Those are court-appointed advocates who advocate for kids in foster care. So without those 108 people, there will be kids with no one supporting them, and that will be a major issue because our goal is to keep kids safe. We have a task program. It's a truancy reduction, K through 5. That program is critical because there are some parents who do not take their kids to school, which is sad. But our goal is to keep them at home. We have a FINS, Family Needed Service. We get a lot of those from high school kids. Truancy reduction. They come to us and they have a commitment with the parents to attend school, to correct the ungovernable behavior that needs to be corrected. We have a Crossroads program. That's our delinquency intervention. Those kids come to us for a variety of reasons. I mean, we have a driver improvement program that's awesome. We do internet safety. We have a law-related class. And that I wish the community, we've been pushing the community to come because it's free. What parent don't want to know about internet safety? Our kids smarter than us. I'm just saying, technology is crucial. We have options program. That's our mental health, substance abuse program. Right now, that's one of our hottest programs. The pandemic, kids, had a hard time being at home 24/7. So that program has increased. And believe it or not, that Chef Soiree that we just had, all those dollars go to our programs. And even that's not enough because we do a lot of free service. People can't pay a fee for service. So I've been working since I got here to attain Medicaid. So we're close. That way we could serve, we served 1,800 last year. We could do 3,000, 4,000 people who need our help in Washington and St. Tammany Parish. I want to talk about this endowment, 30-30-30. So if you know 1,000 people to give $30 in 30 days, that'll raise $30,000 so we can start our endowment. Our principal will not be touched. It's set up to where only catastrophic events where that principal can be touched, that money will be secure, and it's for sustainability. We want to see another 41 years of Youth Service Bureau. We want to expand out in Washington Parish to where we can have our Options and Crossroads program out there. We can't do it right now because we don't have the funding to do that. If you want to contribute, you know somebody who can afford $30. I think Burger King now is $30. We talking about changing people's lives. We're talking about keeping the community safe. Everyone wants to save community. And Youth Service Bureau, my staff, our board, I mean, hey, it's hard work. It's not easy work, but we enjoy what we do. You know, I want to thank the mayor and his staff for allowing us to have the park every year for Chef Soiree. I tell you what, that weather was beautiful. Folks who came had a great time. And, hey, we're going to duplicate that next year. So, yes, sir. Well, you know, I love those. I would love to have the council. I wish I could show the picture. The mayor got $30 and $2 bills. So, to contribute to our endowment, I challenge you guys. If you want to contribute, I'll leave my card here. It's a QR code. Or you can get on our webpage, ysbworks.com. You can look at all our programs. And if anyone wants to come into our facility, just come. 430 North New Hampshire, just a stone step away from here. You're welcome to come so you can, see what we do every day. Because it's important, it's vital to the community. And I thank you for allowing me to have this space.
Yes,
Yeah,
Councilman
I
Rob.
got and you knocked a couple off the list real quick. Where you're located, you already mentioned that. The 30-30-30, you have some information. If you could leave it on the table outside for anybody who's walking out that can grab it,
Okay.
that'd be great, but I definitely want to get one. You know I'll help. And are you hurting right now with the pandemic? Do you need personnel or volunteers, or is there anybody on your staff that you say, I need to fill some gaps for what we're trying to accomplish?
Right now, I'm looking for an admin assistant right now. Like I said, the expansion for Washington Parish, I mean, it's going to be critical because, hey, Washington Parish really needs services. And I've been expressing that since I've been here. So until we get that Medicaid in place, it's still going to be a struggle out there. Just not enough. It never will be enough. I mean,
Do you have a building out there, or does the current building on New Hampshire serve?
no,
Washington
we have a building in Slidell, Franklinton, and Bogalusa. Yeah, so we're out in the community there. Hey, we want to help people, and that's all we care about, help people change their lives.
So I can tell you, when I worked in the school system, I learned about the YSB because I worked with some of those kids as well. But the past 2 years, I have seen you everywhere, and you're doing your thing, man. So please keep doing that because it's making more people aware of what you need and how you can help kids. So kudos to you. You're very, very good. And let me brag real quick. Ex-NFL running back right there. So I'm just letting y'all know.
I appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you. And also, you can always email our council clerk with anything, and she'll share it with us, too.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Great job.
We
Thank you.
appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Next, we do have someone at Miss Elizabeth Garland with the Community Outreach Coordinator at START Corporation has rescheduled, so she's not here today, so she'll get with Councilman Lewis on that, and we can go ahead and move that to maybe next month. Okay. I think we're done with the papers tonight. Next on the agenda, consent calendar, the regular meeting minutes, March 8th, 2022. Introduction of item number 2022-0401, an ordinance of the City of Covington amending the Covington Code of Ordinances, Appendix B, Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance Part 3, Use District Section 3.18, CR Regional Commercial, 3.1802, permitted uses, and adding 3.1803, conditional uses, zoning case number 220301TXT. Next, introduction of item number 2022-0402, an ordinance of the City of Covington amending Section 8-01 of the Home Rule Charter for the redistricting of the single-member council districts for the City of Covington, Louisiana, in accordance with the 2022 census. Next, introduction item number 2022-0403, an ordinance of the City of Covington amending the official zoning map of the City of Covington, Louisiana, to reclassify Lot 10 and Square 31 Connolly addition in the city of Covington, parish of St. Tammany, state of Louisiana, from RM1, which is 3 and 4 family residential, to CN, which is neighborhood commercial, zoning case number 220301ZC, I'm sorry. I do need a motion to accept the consent calendar.
Motion to accept?
I do need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilman Verret,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Rowling.
Yes. Okay, we're moving on to the regular agenda. Public hearing action, item number 2022-0301, an ordinance of the City of Covington amending the development agreement between the City of Covington and the Prevet Family LLC. Councilman Smith, you want to?
Yeah, okay, I'll say a few words about this.
Thank you, sir.
And then I'll have Rod interject. Y'all are familiar with what's been going on. We've been approached by a lot of those subdivisions like Oak Alley, et cetera, that's concerned about the development exceeding our infrastructure out there. And this Prevet property was an agreement that they made with the city in 2001, and it's zoned as a PCUD, a PUD of some type of commercial industry, et cetera. It would allow large apartment complexes, which would be the biggest nightmare for that area, in my opinion, okay? You talk about density and more traffic and more pressure on our sewer system and water deliveries and the way we deliver our services. Right now, they could put 500, 600 apartments out there. They've already got numerous apartments out there. I don't know if they need that. Then in addition to that, they could do industrial plants. I mean, we talking, people around here like trees and stuff. How about when we start polluting the air? Okay? So I think this is a godsend. The Prevet people, the Prevet group that owns the property was approached by a potential purchaser of the property, and what they want to do is not 500, 600, 700 apartments or industrial plants. They want to actually put in institutional zoning so that they can put in a school for people with dyslexia, an opportunity to possibly do medical centers out there, but it would be light commercial and institutional zoning versus what it is today. And if I'm leaving something out, I would like our city attorney to add on to that for me.
I'll give you a very brief synopsis. The Prevet tract was a 50-acre tract. The Prevets have sold 32 of the 50 acres. They have 18 acres left. The way the Prevet agreement was drafted, it allowed up to a maximum of certain uses, including multifamily, industrial, commercial. As the development has progressed, what is left out of the 18 acres would be a maximum of 5 acres of heavy industrial, a maximum of about 8 acres of multifamily, and the remainder commercial. So what the Prevet amendment proposes is that the Prevets are in agreement to eliminating all industrial uses. They're in agreement to eliminating all multifamily, in fact, all residential uses, period, which Mr. Smith actually pointed out a very important aspect of that. As you know, within the last 9 months, or actually it was a year ago, we had a proposal on the board where they was actually a multifamily housing project under consideration where they were going to initially put 700 apartments, which we were able to cut back to about 280 apartments because of the existing terminology of the agreement. But you still have that impact on our sewer plant, which we know is reaching capacity. As an alternative to the potential of 5 acres of industrial and about 7 or 8 acres of multifamily, what the Prevets are proposing is eliminate all of that, convert the property to ID institutional and commercial. The developer advises the Prevett family that they have, in fact, secured a commitment from the dyslexia school, which you may have seen in the news recently. I don't know that much about it, but they tell me the nearest school is in Baton Rouge, and there are a lot of people that commute from Covington, New Orleans, Tangipahoa to Baton Rouge with their kids every day because they really, that school serves an important purpose. They also have a commitment from a gymnasium for a gymnastics school, and they're pursuing some other medical potential uses. So that is the potential trade-off. Get rid of multifamily, get rid of industrial, and go with a school and a gymnasium, and the remainder would be some combination of commercial uses.
Thank you.
Oh, and just as an aside, just to cover every base, the dyslexia school fully intends to open for operation in this fall. Obviously, they cannot build the entire school system, infrastructure in that time frame. The agreement allows them to have temporary classrooms on site through no later than September 30th of 2023, and those temporary classrooms will be in one place on the site as they commence immediate construction of the permanent buildings, and as soon as the permanent buildings are completed, the temporary classrooms will go.
Right. Good, thank you.
Yes.
You know, and guys and girls, the way I look at it as a resident's point of view. If I lived in Oak Alley or someplace along Highway, Reagan Highway, or even 25 and Collins Boulevard, the last thing I want to see is another 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 cars on the road every day, okay? This, you're kind of eliminating that. And they're taking it out, and they'll never have an opportunity to do that. They've got a purchaser for the property that's already committed to doing this. I think it's a win-win for the city. I think it's a win for the children that need that special education. We've had a month to consider it. I've been looking at it, and I think it's something we ought to roll with. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on. Thank you for the explanation. We appreciate it. We're going to have council comments in a minute. We're going to open it up to any public comments. Anyone from the public like to talk on behalf of this ordinance? Seeing none. Any council comments?
Yeah.
Councilman Boxford?
I've talked to Councilman Smith, and I've talked to Rod about this and stuff, and this is a great idea. It would directly impact my district a lot, and a lot of my residents and stuff, and we are more than happy to see this versus multifamily complexes coming in. Like Councilman Smith said, that the traffic's atrocious. We know that Mayor Mark and the Senate and everybody like that's been working on that Bogaflyer Bridge, which is going to be a huge help, but there's going to be a lot of pain in that process, and we just don't need to add more pain on top of it. And this is kind of a little Band-Aid that kind of help us out there. I think that's a good idea.
Well put. Councilman Roberts?
Yeah, I always play devil's advocate. I want to know both sides of everything. So you go, do we really want to put a school in place that's going to increase morning and school traffic? But to weigh that option to only morning and school traffic as opposed to traffic 24/7 or weekends, we would get at least control the elements of this. So it's a no-brainer by no means to me. And it's in my district, and I promise you I want to take care of my residents. This is a no-brainer, I promise.
Thank you. Councilman Barrett?
Yeah, I just want to say Councilman Smith laid out the pros for it. I haven't heard any cons, but I do want to give compliments to our city attorney. He's kept his city council fully informed, and we know all about the project. And I'd hate to echo Councilman Smith because, you know, he always gives me a little grief for talking after, but win-win. Win for the city, win for residents, win for the property owner and the developer.
Councilwoman Ludwig?
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement as far as that's concerned. And yeah, I mean, we're in a delicate situation where this is on the table right now, so I think it's important to act accordingly. So, yeah, I think it's great.
Okay. Again, I think it's a win-win too. So that being said, any other comments from the council? Okay. Let's, I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing. I need a second.
Second.
I need a motion to adopt, please.
Motion to adopt.
Some movement of some monies so that those projects can be put on the fast track. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, I'll just first in
Okay.
there.
Mayor?
Exactly, that's correct. This is, we always get, talk about government being so cumbersome and slow, and this is actually my closing remarks tonight, thanking the council, because this is one way that we're able to make government agile and efficient, that we're able not to wait 3, 4, 6 months before we continue with a project. We all know, for example, Lurleen Drive. We've been talking about Lurleen Drive since I lived in River Forest, but not quite that long. But the idea that we are able to go ahead, we have the money, there's no reason for us not to do it, and this will allow us to move forward with each one of these items.
Okay, before we move to council comments, we'll open it up to the public. Anybody from the public that would like to speak on behalf of this ordinance? Seeing none, hearing none. Council, anything to be added? I think everything's well put. Yes, Councilman Lewis.
Yeah, I guess I had a question about the gazebo at the farmer's market. Is it like deteriorating or falling apart?
It's really, it's not in good shape. We actually thought we had this as a budget item in the 2022 budget, and I delegated to Facilities Director to replace the gazebo. And when we looked, I would kind of say the IDA recovery threw us off, but we thought this money was already in the budget, and it's not. But if you go there and visit, you'll conclude that we have gotten our money's worth out of the gazebo that's there.
Yeah, I went and inspected it, it's rotten. I mean, it's
Do
bad.
we know how old it is, out of curiosity? I know it's been there a long time.
It was my understanding that John Wharton Collins oversaw the construction.
Right. I know it's been there a while. Okay. Okay, council comments, anything else?
I just wanted to thank, I know Aaron is probably, I'm assuming, behind all this diligence, so we appreciate it.
I put the spreadsheet together. The team works on this as a group, so.
Well, thanks to the team and anyone who had to stare at the spreadsheet.
All righty. Okay, that being said, hearing no more comments, is there an objection to close the public hearing? If not, I need a motion to close the public hearing, please.
Motion closed.
Second, please.
Second.
I need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilman Verret,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Rowling,
Yes.
Councilman Lewis,
Yes.
Councilman Bosford,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
All righty. Moving on to new business. Resolution number 2022-05, a resolution of the Covington City Council informing the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality of the actions regarding the sewer treatment facility. Before I turn it over to Councilman Smith, is Mr. Mike Curtis in the room? Okay, good. Okay, so we'll probably have you come up if you want to say a few words in a minute. But Councilman Smith, you want to add anything first, and we'll.
No, this is something we're required by law to do every year. Basically, Curtis Environmental Service goes out there and checks our sewer, treatment plant and water delivery, et cetera, and makes recommendations if we've got some faults and tells us if we're doing well in certain spots. He's did a thorough, and I'm sure you're going to come up here and speak about it, correct? And it's David, huh? Yes, sir. It's David. Yes, sir. You're Mike's son, if I'm not mistaken. This is David Curtis.
And just, if you would state your name, I guess address and business for us, please.
Yes, sir. My name is David Curtis. I'm with Curtis Environmental Services. We are based out of La Place, Louisiana. Been in business since 1975. Actually, the city of Covington was one of our very first customers when my parents started the business on the North Shore in Abita. So, you know, it's not very rare that you have people that are able to work together for so long. So we do appreciate y'all's commitment to us and allowing us to work with you. So kind of what we have here tonight, Every year per your permit for your treatment facility, you're required to do an annual audit of the previous year. See what you did, where did you have problems, and what can you fix in 2022 to address some of these problems. The way this is scoring is, the lower the score, the better. It's based out of 560 points, and it's broken down into 7 different categories that you are scored on. One of the first categories that you are scored on is based on influent flow. What is the community sending to the plant? For this year, you did have a hit because you did have some higher flows. I know I've heard y'all talk about some capacity issues with the plant, but you did have some flows, and that's just it. Unfortunately, nothing y'all can do about it. I'm sure you have older clay pipes, so you will get I&I and things like that from it. So that does contribute from the rain events and things like that. The next score, which y'all did excellent on, is effluent quality. In 2021, the city of Covington did not have an effluent permit violation for any testing that we did. So that is something that you should chalk up, to the staff. They do a wonderful job. I know my lab supervisor talks to Michael and Jerry on a regular basis. We pick up twice a week. Any additional sampling that we needed, we ensure that gets done. But they do a very good job of making sure everything is done very good. So that is something y'all should, if you see them, thank them. I was out at the site last week, at the end of 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, to do the annual stormwater audit. I don't know if any of y'all have been out there. Looks wonderful. The grounds look great. The staff is doing just a really good job. So, that is something that if you see them, they work very hard, and sometimes it goes very unnoticed. The next part, they look at the age. Are you doing improvements? Are you, making improvements to the system to kind of give yourself a refurbishment of your plant? And talking with Michael, I think y'all have some things in the works to do some additional improvements to the plant. So, as you do improvements, that will lower your score and you get to start back over. But every year, because you're a mechanical plant, you're going to get a 2.5 points of an increase. One of the biggest hits that the city did take was just overflows. The majority of them from Ida. That's very common. I do a lot of these. This was a very common occurrence. The majority of them are from Ida. However, the staff, whether it's the collection system or the treatment plant, we keep very good record of it. It is noted. It is put every month in DMR like you're supposed to. And again, they do a great job of keeping everything in compliance for the city. The next one's sludge. For y'all, you're able to store sludge. You also transport it. You have a land application that y'all bring all of your sludge to in Kiln, Mississippi. So you have that ability to be able to do that. So that, since you can do those types of things, some facilities don't have that ability just from funding and things like that. So, you don't have any points from that. New development, the city's growing. This is a great place to be. I enjoy coming over here a lot. It's just a nice area. So, you are going to get some points for that, but those are, in my opinion, good points. If you didn't get those points, to me, I would think that's not a good thing. And then finally, operator training. You have a Class 4 operator that runs your system. Again, does a great job. They stay up with all their training. I do know, I'm in the process of taking all of mine. I do see the city employees taking their tests and getting operator trainings, which, just gives your system an overall, better improvements in monitoring and everything like that. So it is good. So this year, y'all did have 77.5 points. That is up from last year, mostly due to the overflows from Ida. But I can tell you, this doesn't reflect what really is at y'all's facility. They do a great job, and I think overall, y'all should be very, very pleased. So with that being said, that's really it. Y'all have any questions?
I would say that looking at this and not really being that good at figuring it out, I would say that we should, our priority should be to continue to work on the aging of that, get new parts, and I think we're doing that, So I would hope that if we go through a decent hurricane season, we don't have another Ida, next year we could be back in that 35-point range.
I think so too. I know, in previous years, and I think continuously, y'all are continuously videoing lines, getting roots that are causing joints. Because, back when cities like, y'all have been around for a long time, everybody had clay sewer pipes. Well, that the course has run, it's run its course on age. So the joints are separating, the ground's, changing. So it's shifting. It allows water in, and that just directly affects your plant. That's more loading. Now, the city's lucky, they have a equalization basin that they're able to, store in there and not overload the plant to keep a good quality effluent leaving the facility.
Again,
So-
the effluent is the water that, after we treat it, the water we're sending out to the rivers.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
After it's
So we're
treated.
not, we hadn't been hit with anything when it comes to pollutant.
In 2021, the city did not have a violation on their DMR.
Well, that's something to
that
be
is-
proud of.
That is, and like I said, you need to thank the guys on the wastewater department. They
Right.
go very much unthanked a lot, and I know, my guys that I have that work for us, they work very, very hard, and, it's definitely sometimes a thankless job.
Good to
So,
hear.
but
Thanks for the explanation, David.
Okay, we'll open it up. Thank you, sir. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate it.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the hard work. Yeah, we're going to go into public comments and council comments and administrative comments.
I
But
just
you can-
quickly wanted to point out
Sure.
that when he refers to our staff, back here, we have Michael Brandt, who runs our wastewater treatment plant.
Thank you.
And we have Charles
We appreciate
Arthur,
it.
who is our Assistant Director of Public Works, and I'm not sure if you guys had met them yet, but they are working very hard. I just wanted to point that
We
out.
appreciate the hard work, we really do. Thank you very much. Anyone from the public that would like to have any comments? Okay. Council comments? I think we covered it all. You good? Okay. So that being said, I need a motion to accept.
Motion to accept?
Need a second, please?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Verret,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Rowling,
Yes.
Councilman Lewis, Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ludwig.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on, resolution number 2022-06, a resolution of the City of Covington, City Council authorizing the mayor to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with the St. Tammany Parish government for drainage improvements in the Savannah subdivision. Councilman Botsford.
All right, well, we've been talking about this ad nauseum, and I think that this is actually a watershed problem that's actually coming from parish into the city. The city's drainage and stuff like that is fantastic. However, it's being inundated by, watershed that's coming off of River Road up towards 25. And this project, we've been fighting this even before I was on the council and everything with this. And we finally started getting traction with this and with the parish. And then it kind of seems like it kind of got bogged down. And if I'm not mistaken, Aaron, and you could talk about this, it's basically, it's the same contract. It's just that we're going to oversee it now versus letting the parish oversee it, because this way we know it's going to get done. So, yeah.
You
So
want to take that?
both entities are going to contribute financially toward the project. It's a cost share. The parish is going to handle the engineering and design, and then we are going to work, the city is going to work with the Savannahs to get any easements for maintenance or any property that's needed for improvements, and then we're also going to oversee the bidding and construction of the project.
Thank you. We'll go right before council comments. Anyone from the public? Okay, seeing none, hearing none. Council comments, anything else to be added? We all good? Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to accept.
Motion to accept?
Need a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Smith,
Here, I mean here. Yes.
He's right there.
I'm actually here.
Councilman
Yes.
Rowling,
Yes.
Councilman Lewis. Are you here?
Yes.
Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ludwig.
Yes.
Councilman Verret.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, resolution number 2022-07, a resolution of the Covington City Council confirming the capital outlay encumbrance rollover from the 2021 budget to 2022 budget. Councilman Smith, man, you on here a lot tonight, huh?
Encumbrance.
I was close. I don't know.
Basically, this is money that was in the 2021 budget that we either didn't need it or we didn't have an opportunity to spend it. Correct or not?
Not quite, opposite. This is money that
Uh-oh.
either, sorry, just doing my job. So this is the funding that it's either capital funding that you guys agreed to put into the budget for 3 years, and we're saying we're taking it from 21 and rolling it over to 22 for projects that are underway or, we are under design, but we haven't gone to construction. It's also a list of open POs, which are encumbrances, meaning that we have committed to pay a contractor or whatever for a service, and that is still underway. That's what it is.
So what the administration's asking us to do is to approve them, allow them to move the money from the 2021 over into the 2022 budget. Okay? So it's no new money we're spending, it's part of the whole deal.
Okay, we're going to go right into any public comments on this? For council comments? None? Any council comments further on this?
I just wanted to ask about
Yes, sir.
the account description on streets, sidewalks, things like that. Are some of these are construction in progress. Are there any of these that are not going to be completed?
If there is funding that we are showing as rolling over, that means that we do intend to use those funds. The project might be underway. You would have to ask me about a specific line item, and Callie's here if you have some questions too. But if you see that we're not rolling over that amount, that either means those funds we've completed the project and the remaining funds are no longer needed. It might be as-needed funds that we budget every year that we did not need during the course of year, so we release that back to the general fund. It kind of depends on the line item you have in mind.
All right, well, let me ask it a different way. Is the
Okay.
administration aware of any budgeted items that is part of this rollover where the project is not going to be completed?
I can't think of any. No, we did a pretty good cleanup last year of some projects that had been on the books, particularly with some grant funds and things like that we cleaned up. We've been trying to really close out a bunch of these projects, and I can tell you our finance director has been extremely complimentary of Callie because she has closed out so many projects in the past year. I mean, she's doing a fantastic job of that, so I think when she started, there were 60-something projects on the books, and even with new projects coming in, she's got 40-something open right now, so she's doing great.
Good.
I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. We'll move on to public comments. Anyone from the public? All right, council comments. Councilman Lewis.
I'm sorry? The what? The Harrison Avenue amount, where? Callie, you want to? The what? The what?
The bid just came in for that project.
Oh, the bid came in, so the bid was higher than expected, I think,
The bid came in higher than what we had budgeted.
which is happening a lot.
I bet.
I thought you said the benches came in.
Anything else, Councilman Lewis? Okay. I'll accept a motion to accept, please.
Second.
Second, we got a roll call, please?
Councilman Rowling,
Yes.
Councilman Lewis,
Yes.
Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilman Barrett,
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Resolution number 2022-08, a resolution of the Covington City Council authorizing the mayor to enter into cooperative agreement with the Covington Concert Band. I'll give a brief history on this, and the mayor might want to talk a little bit more on this. I know the Covington Concert Band was formed in 2021, and I know each member on this council, approved them, starting their series of concerts with approval from the council and some monies from the council. And the concert band now has kind of formed their own nonprofit, so they wanted to go a little bit different direction on where they can hold concerts, et cetera. But this agreement basically is giving them a little bit of a swap. They love the idea of them practicing at our Bogafalaya Hall. It's perfect for them. It's perfect space for them. And this pretty much, in the return, we get them to perform at the Sparks in the Park, which is a great July celebration for the city. So I think it is a win-win. And Mayor, do you want to add a little bit to that? Or Aaron? Yeah, sure. Sure, absolutely.
So last month, we had a discussion about the Covington Community Garden. I explained to you guys that when we have any sort of city resources involved, we like to have a cooperative endeavor agreement on file explaining what the benefit is to the city for expending those resources. So again, this is one of those situations, the band uses a public space that is typically a revenue-generating space, and in exchange, they're going to perform at the Sparks in the Park event. So it just details that.
Definitely a win-win. Mr. Smith. Okay, public comments? Anybody from the public? Okay, council comments.
I just wanted to
Yeah, I
recognize,
do.
go
Go ahead.
Councilman Lewis?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to recognize Meredith Berry on this, and we,
Yes.
without his help, this may not very well be before us. So he needs that recognition. And I
Absolutely.
was part of the negotiations, if you will, on this. This is a win-win. It's a win for them, it's a win for us, it's a win for the city to have a Sparks in the Park that's worthwhile.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I remember the band, when I worked for the city, the band used to be quite expensive. I mean,
Yes.
can be for various events.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking of LPO.
Yeah. and
Sorry,
that
but
is
either
expensive.
way, it's better than a DJ.
Thank you. Councilman Lewis?
I just want to clarify the contract on the back. So they'll practice every Thursday at the 6 to 10, and they're going to play just for the Spark in the Park?
Yes.
So the funds that we approved in the budget, all that, it still stays the same, right?
Well, there's no funds any longer.
No funds.
The last budget, we took it out.
We took it out,
They
okay.
agreed to take it out, so the city's not
So we
really
just
spending.
exchanging a,
For the band.
Other expenses.
Right, exactly, right. For the park concerts and
park.
things like that, we have to get, we have to get workers out, et cetera. But as far as, they were budgeted to get a line item money that was taken out. They agreed to
but that's
do
still
that.
staying the same.
Well, there's no line item just for
Right.
that. Right, Aaron? There's nothing else.
It was determined, the Covington community service agreement, the budget line item that was
Yes.
included in community contracts, that was removed. And in lieu of having an agreement with them where the city provides funding, this is the arrangement that was put in place
That
instead
is
of that.
correct.
Does that explain it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone from the public? You want to come, you need to come up to the podium. That's right. And state your name and address again for the record. Thank you.
Tiffany McGarry Cyprian, 46348 North Baptist, Hammond, Louisiana. So the Covington Concert Band is now officially a nonprofit? Are they listed under Covington Concert Band? Because they're not on the IRS site as Covington Concert Band.
That is their DBA. They go by North Shore Music Alliance
It's
or
in
something
there, I
like that,
think.
but they
Okay.
submitted the paperwork to us.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Thank you very much. Okay, anyone else from the public, just to make sure I didn't forget anybody? Okay. Council comments? Okay, great. All right, I will make the motion to accept. I need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Lewis,
Yes.
Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ludwig,
Yeah.
Councilman Verret,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Rowley.
Yes, thank you. All right, items up for discussion. Dr. Malcolm Guidry, Oak Trees and Insurance. Councilman Smith.
Unfortunately, Dr. Guidry is having some health issues, and he asked if he could possibly move his discussion with us to next month's council meeting. I said, absolutely. Wish him good health and quick recovery, and look forward to hearing from him next month.
Absolutely, and also in your package, there is a nice packet he put together.
Yeah,
so
and
each
he's
of the
got a
council
lot,
has
he's
that.
got a lot more. He's got a slide presentation he wanted to share with us, but, we are a city who loves our live oak trees, and that's
course.
his concern. And because of the way the insurance industry is in this state today, it's a difficult spot. I mean, not too many companies want to write homeowners insurance in Louisiana. But anyway, he's got some ideas that he wants to share with us, and I think it's well worth our time to listen to him. So I told him next month, we'll get him back on that.
Absolutely, and
deal.
Ms. Rucker, you're going to put him on and we'll just make sure he knows the date and all that good stuff. Okay, thank you, sir, appreciate it. Okay, we're going to move right on to comments and reports, and we're going to go straight to District A, Councilman Lewis.
All right, thank you. I just have a little statement I want to read, if everybody would bear with me a second. First, I wanted to apologize to Ms. Cyprian and her McGarry Ciparan, and her company for Mardi Gras Day. I want to make it very clear to the community, it's very hard to apologize for an issue at this time for what we experienced, seeing a witness on that day. As elected officials, we looked up to as role models, and we're regarded as examples for our community and the people that we represent. As one person said, we live and represent one of the coolest cities in the world. Does that mean we're perfect? No, it does not. Does that mean we cannot make mistakes? No, it does not. But how we react when we make a mistake determines our character. I did nothing in question on the day that we're discussing. However, I feel once again to apologize to my community and the people that I represent. I apologize because I want to represent a positive, forgiving city. With that said, taking responsibility in situations like this need to happen, not only to allow the city or community to move forward, but maybe to teach such reasons for our youth and take responsibility. To bring this to a meaningful end, what we experience in our city is not about a political gain or attack on any one person. This was always about dealing with the safety of our citizens, no matter where they're from in that city of Covington. I want to take a quick take back for the history of District A and some of District B. If you don't know, that area in question have a history of celebrating and carrying on its own parade. And we did that for many years. It was parading, barbecuing, fun, music, and games. And it was very successful. I took the time out and found one picture from years ago I'm going to share with the council. And as I finish reading, I'm going to let them look at the picture. Every business was filled during that time. Every kid was enjoying themselves, playing with his sister, cousins, friends, whoever. And leading up to that event, we hosted our own Mardi Gras ball in what was then called our community center. There was a king and queen that was crowned, and they rode in that parade on Mardi Gras Day. I can probably go on and on about the untold history of our community. Ignored? Yes, we are, but not in the sense we need questionable behavior. Ignored? Yes, we are, but not in the sense we need division within our city. Left out? Yes. So include us in the decisions we're making. Don't include us in decisions when they're made. This council worked tirelessly with myself to bring this community together and making this city of Covington better for everyone. A mistake, as I told my kids growing up, and now I tell my grandkids, when you make one, you apologize. Make it right, move forward. Stop making excuses for something you did wrong. Now I'm going to go into what's going on in my community. Greater Starlight Baptist Church, on April 23rd, they started a new gardens right across the street from them. They will be doing a dedication at 11 o'clock, April 23rd, right across the street from Greater Starlight Church. And they are still also accepting volunteers. If you need to contact anyone, you can contact Unchanging Hands Feeding Ministry, Ms. Pamela McKay, 985-237-3138. Next we have first annual picnic at the park at Bochetta Park. You can contact Danielle Fabre, 985-334-0632, Sunday, May 1st, 2022. Our adult prom with Project Blessing all year round will be at the VFW, April 30th. That's a Saturday, starting at 7 p.m. Tickets are still available. Contact Ms. Tiffany Ciparan, 985-710-5699. So who didn't go to their senior prom, now you got another chance. Of course, our Juneteenth is coming up. It will be on June 18th this year since it falls on a Father's Day. So that'll be the third Saturday of the month. Our next meeting is April 11th at Bounce Back Nutrition. We're still looking for donors, sponsors, parade goers, and volunteers. We will be picking committee leaders that day, and Next will be April 16th, I believe that's this Saturday, starting at 10 in Peter Atkins Park. We'll have a Covington Health and Wellness Festival, including an Easter egg hunt, health screening, COVID testing, blood drive, free food, music, kids, games, and vendors. Next Saturday. This next Saturday. Yeah, the 16th. So everybody come out. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, sir. All right, moving on, District B, Councilman Boxford.
All right, updates from the food bank. The average households, averages for March 2022 is 87 daily households served, 111 daily boxes. Compared to 2021, their average households were 120, average boxes 137, so the numbers come down a little bit. However, in March of this year, they had served 1,399 total houses and 1,557 boxes of food. They kicked off a new program this year, and they're really proud about it. And it's called the Feel Better Food Bag Program. And they did that at Alton Elementary in Slidell, and they're hoping to bring it into Covington and the other surrounding areas. It's when like a lot of the kids go home sick from school, you know, they miss out on meals and stuff like that. So they're trying to bring meals to the sick kids in low-income areas to provide them nice, you know, healthy meals and stuff like that when they're not feeling good. And they'd like to expand that into our area as well, all throughout St. Tammany Parish, Washington Parish. The food donations that they need this year, of course, are canned vegetables, cornbread mix, tomato sauce, rice, and oatmeal. They're looking for some volunteers at both the warehouse and the resale place. They're mostly looking for 9 a.m. to noon shifts, and Mondays, Tuesdays, or Thursdays are those dates. If you're interested, you can go to the NorthShoreFoodBanks.org's website for that. Upcoming things that they have is the North Shore Food Bank is participating in the Kendra Scott Give Back event again this year. There are 2 ways to shop: April 7th, 5 to 7 at Lakeside Shopping Center, or April 7th to the 9th, shop online. Use code GIVEBACK, BRONP, to donate 20% of your purchase to the North Shore Food Bank. The golf tournament again, Tuesday, May 10th. It's going to be at Beauchene. They still have registration and teams slots available. And May 21st is called Fools Fest. I'm not sure why they're waiting there. It's the proceeds from the second annual Fools Fest will benefit, that's our Fools Fest, North Shore Food Bank and Boys and Girls Club of Metro Louisiana on that. And then I just wanted to remind everybody of Wednesday, tomorrow is the farmers market here at the trailhead, as well as Saturday here next to the council chambers here. I'll let Cody handle all the rest of those things. One other thing is that Stark needs your Mardi Gras beads, so you can drop them off at the North Shore Food Bank. It's a great little program for them. And then lastly, in closing, I just want to wish everybody a happy Easter.
Moving on, District C, Councilman Roberts.
All right, well, speaking of Easter, they have a bunny breakfast over at the YMCA through the St. Elsom Knights of Columbus. It's this Saturday from 8 to 10. It's a $5 donation. You get to take pictures with the bunny, have a little pancake breakfast, so it's a win-win-win because you get food and a bunny, so it's always good. You already mentioned the health and wellness on the 16th, so definitely attend that too. It's a good opportunity to get people together and support kids in wellness. I want to thank Cleve Wester for coming in here and remind you all about the 30-30-30 program. I will definitely join it because I know that that's going to the right thing, and he's doing great things. I want to recognize somebody that's sitting out there. Ron Smith is out in the audience there. He's doing amazing, amazing things with Boys and Girls Club, and and just appreciate you very much, man. I just see these guys coming in and doing the right thing, and I've always wanted to just help kids, and then you see other people doing it, and you go, you know what, if there's enough of us doing it, the kids are going to be okay. So I appreciate everything you're doing, Ron. And I don't want to end on a sour note, but I do want to reiterate what Ms. Tiffany brought up. It's a see something, say something, do something scenario. 2003, I lost one of my basketball players to drunk driving, and it was probably one of the hardest moments I've ever been through in my life. I have lost relatives to old age, to cancer, but I've never lost someone so sudden where they just get a phone call and they let you know this is what happened. And then yesterday, there was a huge court issue with 4 young ladies that were in a car. It was a DWI incident, 2 young ladies passed away. And it's those things that come up that you say, was there somebody present proactively that could have stopped something from happening? If you see something, say something, do something, and maybe we stop some of these incidences from occurring. So just a reminder, don't let things slide like that. So I appreciate everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to District D, Councilwoman Ludwig.
Yeah, okay, so I just wanted to mention the library is in District D. You can find the survey. They're trying to develop a strategic plan for the library's future. And so there's a survey floating around on Facebook, but you can also go to their website. But it's on the St. Tammany Parish Library Facebook page. I had to kind of dig a little bit, but I have a newsletter I'm about to send out that I'll include in that as well. And then super excited to announce that hopefully this is going to be our new normal. The St. Tammany Parish Hospital, we are down to 1 COVID care case at the hospital. So thank goodness. So I don't want to knock on wood or anything, but at last June we were also down to I think just 2. So bracing for the worst, but hopefully hopeful for the best. So as far as events go, Rockin' the Rails concert series has begun. I know last year we were spreading out at the park, but it seems like the rest of them from this week forward are going to be at the trailhead. Last week was at Peter Atkins Park. I had to miss. I had my daughter's art show, but I do love that venue space as well. But yeah, so that's every Thursday at 5:30, and I think everyone else mentioned the kids' egg rolling event the following Saturday. It's a free event for the kids in the community, which is great because there's a lot of Easter stuff that's put on that costs money, but this is a great free event for the kids. They can do crafts, there's egg rolling, there used to be bunnies to pet, but I'm not sure this year. And then Spring for Art. The St. Tammany Art Association is a local nonprofit that does great things for our community. And I know this has been a weird past couple years between the pandemic. They've lost a lot of their funding, as well as physical problems with IDA, with their physical buildings. So anyway, this should be a good kind of resurgence back to hopefully normalcy. And that is this weekend from 6 to 9. Spring for Art throughout downtown Covington. It also gives all of our businesses a boost. I know that I personally have reservations. I'm excited to just get out and walk around and support some of our local businesses. So that's it. The rest of it, there's way more events in April, but we'd be here all night. So I'll talk about the May stuff at the May meeting. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Moving on to District E, Councilman Barrett.
Yeah, I'll just echo some of the comments made tonight because I didn't make any comments during the presentation of Ms. Cyprian, but I will say that it takes courage to come up and speak before the public. So the City Council appreciates you coming forward. That means a lot. Certainly disappointing to hear. Talking about disappointing, I had a number of people that contacted me today. On East Gibson Street across from Downtown Drugs, there's some sidewalk repairs that are being made. Apparently 4 live oaks and a red oak has suddenly disappeared. That's concerning to me. Number one, it's in my district. Number two, they were healthy trees. I know they were healthy trees because it doesn't look like I walk, but sometimes I do. And but anyway, I would like the administration to check into that because that's naturally a concern here. That's part of what we enjoy about Covington, and I know a lot of people walk there. And what makes it a little worse is that the 4 live oaks were actually planted by families in the 1990s for their children. So I just want that to be looked at. I don't know the details, but I know that many people have reached out to me today, and they're disappointed. So maybe that's something we can check into, and I can get an answer.
Sure.
Other than that, happy Easter. I know because John Botsford has a cool-looking Easter time. And look, a lot of events, springtime. Get out there, enjoy yourself, be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to Councilman at Large. Smith.
Very good comments by all 5 districts. Leaves not a whole lot to mention, but nobody said anything about the CBA meeting.
There's a CBA meeting.
See? We do have a CBA meeting, and again, Spring for Art was big. Thank you, Cody, for mentioning that. That's this Saturday, and it is a boost to the local businesses in town. and of course, the artists and the Art Association. Been through some rough times, but I won't be able to make it. My daughter's wedding is that evening. Boy, I'm a little excited about that one. But CBA meeting, it's next week, Wednesday, April 13th. It's going to be held at the 19th hole at 1645 North Highway 190 in Covington. And the social starts at 5 o'clock and goes to 6 o'clock. Meeting begins promptly at 6 p.m. So hope to see everybody there. Again, support your local businesses. It's a good way to support the economy here in Covington. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for those comments. Just a couple of things real quick. I want to recognize a person in the audience right now, former councilwoman, Mrs. Frances Dunn. We appreciate you here. Ms. Frances is right on the side, if nobody didn't know that. I know you missed these, right?
Well, I sure do.
I didn't recognize you without a mask.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. That's true. That's true. No, we thank you for being here and staying to the pretty close to the end. So we appreciate it very much. Okay, a couple of things I want to talk about real quick. Everybody knows about redistricting. We introduced it in today's meeting. It's going to be voted on in our May meeting coming up. But on Wednesday, March 16th of this year, and also March 23rd, the council held public meetings in these chambers about redistricting. We had some public that did show up and had some questions. I know each member on this council worked very hard to look at different scenarios that was in the best interest for the host city. And I think we came up with a really good districting plan that, again, was introduced tonight, will be voted on in public, the comments will be held in May also. And we're just excited about just getting through this. And I think everybody did a really great job. But again, that will be voted on our May 3rd meeting in these chambers at 6 p.m. So that being said, the only last thing I have is, I know we're talking about Easter, and it is a special time. And the last couple of years have been tough for a lot of people and a lot of families around if things hadn't hit you directly. But there's a lot to be thankful for. We live in a great city. And, I know people, want to be the best they can be. And I appreciate being in the city of Covington. So it makes me very proud. That being said, think about supporting your local churches. There's 2 Fridays left. I know a lot of them have fish fries. So there's 2 Fridays to support that. What a great effort. And I know there's a lot of churches in the city limits of Covington. So that being said, we're going to move right on to administrative comments and reports. Mayor Mark, you up.
Thank you. I'd like to start off by reiterating what I said earlier this evening, thanking the council for the budget amendment. For the general public's knowledge, these budget amendments are what allow us as a city to be much more agile in keeping our projects moving forward. They're really important, and I appreciate the council's help on that. We're in a time where accurately nailing down cost is nearly impossible, and we're experiencing the same supply chain interruptions everyone is. So really appreciate it. Each project that we had in the design phase last summer got delayed during the Ida recovery. And as we come out of that into January, February, March of this year, those projects' prices are coming in 30, 40, 50% over what we originally budgeted. So we may see some more of this down the road. In the case of Lurleen Drive, tonight we did that budget amendment. In the case of desnagging Blue Swamp Creek, we're actually trying to juggle around some other budget areas so that we can continue to move forward with that project. The guard railing on the southeast corner of 11th Avenue and Mile Branch has now been replaced, and I have advised Engineering and Public Works that on future bridge replacements, when we do them across the city, eventually we're going to have to replace most of our bridges, just like the rest of Louisiana, that we work with the concrete, aesthetically pleasing guardrail instead of this metal interstate-looking structure that's out there. It's just not Covington, the design was done when I came in, not that I would have caught it, but now in hindsight, when we look at it, you'll know when we do future bridges that we're going to go for something a little bit more fitting with our city. And finally, it should be noted that Covington was named in the most recent issue of Southern Living magazine as one of the top 20 best small towns in America. Those of us that live here already know that, but it was nice for such an esteemed publication to also notice. So that's all.
Okay. Anything else from the council?
Yeah,
Anything?
quick
Sure.
math problem.
Oh,
Go through how many cities are in America and then say we're in the top 20. That's amazing. So good job and kudos to us here. It's a big deal.
And I think it's about the people of the city, too, that makes a difference. There's no doubt about it. Administration? Council? Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I have any reminders really quick. Okay, the May 2022 City of Covington Council meeting will be held in these chambers May 3rd at 6 p.m. And y'all have a wonderful evening and a peaceful Easter.